Hi, welcome to YN Tutor. This is very first lesson of our Photoshop training course series. In this lesson we are going to be familiar with the Photoshop interface. I have latest version of Photoshop. It is Photoshop 2023, and if you are using the older version of Photoshop, still you can follow along the video and you can go through this training. Once you will install Photoshop in your computer and double click on the Photoshop icon, you will see Photoshop this way. At the bottom here, drag and drop an image or select one. If you restore Photoshop and drop an image in this area, that image will be open in Photoshop. And if I will click on select one, Photoshop will allow me to open any image that is saved in my hard drive. Same thing here. If you want to open a new document, you need to click on new file, and existing document that is saved already in your computer you can open from this button. This area, it is for cloud. If you have saved file in the cloud and you are connected with the internet, you can access that. At the top here we have a menu bar. If I will click on file, I will be able to open a new document, or if I want existing document, I can click on open. Without opening new document or existing file, if we want to just open Photoshop interface, on this point we can press escape key. If I will press escape key, Photoshop is open without any existing or new document. Under menu bar here we have a control bar. This control bar is actually associated with the toolbox. So this toolbox is having one column. If I will click on this small arrow here, I will be able to expand in two columns. And even if we want, we can click and drag it out. Old user of Photoshop may be familiar with this toolbox. If we want, we can bring it back. Once you get this blue line, just release the mouse and it will be there. If you want to get wider space in your screen, you can simply click on this arrow once again. The toolbox will be fit with the most left side this way. Control bar, it works with the tools. Here we have first tool, that is move tool. If I will click on move tool, you can see that all options that's associated with the move tool we have in this area. If I will click on selection tool, we have marquee selection, and now we have selection options. Same thing, if I will click on any other tool, let's say polygon tool, now we have option for polygon tool. Most tool we have here small triangle at the bottom right. If I will hold my mouse on this tool, Photoshop is telling that there is an additional tool. You can see we have move tool, and under that we have artboard. Artboard tool is for multiple artboards. In our coming lesson we will be learning in depth. So now artboard tool is selected. If I hold again and just bring my mouse over the move tool, now once again move tool is active. In latest versions of Photoshop, once you will hover your mouse over any tool, it will give you the brief introduction of that tool. There is a small arrow and it is moving the turtle. Photoshop is actually explaining that this way you can use this tool. If I will move my mouse to the polygon tool, now there is a brief intro that this way you can make selection using this tool. And if I will click and hold, I will be able to see the additional tool. You can see with the polygon tool we have a lasso tool and magnetic lasso tool. But the command for these three tools, it is same, it is L. It is because whatever tool is selected in the toolbox, that command will work for that. If I will bring my mouse to the lasso tool, now lasso tool is active. If I will go back to the move tool, this time if I will press L from the keyboard, lasso tool will be selected. And if our active tool is polygon, I will go back to the move tool, and this time if I will press L, now polygon tool will be selected by using L. So this is how the command work for the specific tool. We have many tools. In our coming lesson we will cover. At the bottom here we have foreground and background color. This side here we have palettes. We have color palette active, and you can see the color here. If I will click on swatch, RGB swatches, we have CMYK, grayscale, pastel. So once I will click on this arrow, I can expand this way. In front of swatch we have another tab, that is a gradient. If I will click, previously I selected purple, so it is active. You can choose any gradient you want from the basic. and this how other types of gradient we have. We have pattern also. Photoshop is having predefined patterns, trees, grass, water. Under this we have properties, adjustment, libraries. This setup, it is default, and if we want we can make our own workspace according to our specific needs. If I will go to the window, workspace, and here you can see that essential default is active workspace. There is a 3D, there is a graphic and web. Different workspaces have different palette settings. While working in Photoshop, if you scattered around this way the palettes, I can click and drag this way, and wherever I want I can keep and I can work with them. And if you want to bring them back, it is very easy. You can go to the window, workspace. This is our active workspace, so I will click here, reset essential. So everything will go back to the default state. This is the palettes extended mode. If I will click on this arrow here, I will get wider space in my screen. And still, if we want, we can minimize this way. If you are familiar with these icons, it is okay, but if you are a beginner, I will recommend you to keep at least the name of the palettes this way. This workspace we can customize. Let's say preparing some advertisement or graphic artwork you are doing in Photoshop and you need some additional palette here. So window is the place. If I will click on the window tab, here we have all palettes that we can open and we can set in our workspace here. Character palette, it's used for text. If I will click on character, now character and paragraph palette both open together. And if we want, we can set in our new workspace here. Click and drag. When you get this blue line, release the mouse and that palette will be there. Currently we have here 3 sections. The first section for the color, second we have property, and third is for layer. Click and drag, maybe under character here. Now we have character and paragraph palette also. So if I will click on character, character palette is expanded, but right and left we have here small buttons. These buttons are indicating the other palettes that we have here. If I will click on this palette, this is the swatch palette, it's open. I will go back again, and this side here we have a paragraph. So if I will click this one, paragraph palette will be active. If you don't need, you can just click, so it goes back. Here we have history and comment palette. Most of the time we are not using this, so I don't need here. I will just close. So this is my customized workspace I want to save. To save workspace, it is very simple. You need to click on window, workspace, and here we have new workspace. Let's say I will give name my workspace. Save. Now the currently open palettes named as my workspace. So if I will just move the palettes wherever I want, I can. And if I want to get back again to the default state, I can just go back, workspace, my workspace, and if I will click on reset my workspace, everything will go back to the default state and we get our own customized workspace. Now let's open a new document. Go to the file, new document dialog box is open, and here we have many choices. You can click on photo, click on print. Basically here we have different sizes. Art and illustration, we have specific predefined sizes. If I will click on this size, Photoshop will open the document with this size, 2000 by 2000 pixels. If I will click on the web, here we have sizes for web. So if you are using your document for print purpose, you will click on the print. For web and desktop presentation, you can click on the web. There is other sizes also. We have mobile size. You can see the vertical screen we have, film and videos. I am going to open one of the document from the print, and here we have letter size, legal size, A4. So I am going to open a letter size. Here we have size in inches, since it is for print, 8.5 by 11 inches and 300 ppi, that is the resolution. And here is the property of this. At the top is the name. That file will be named untitled1. We have dimension 8.5 by 11 and our measurement units are in inches. If I want, I can change here to centimeter. Under that we have a resolution, is all about the quality of your image. The higher the resolution, Photoshop will add more pixels to produce the higher quality image. Under this we have here color mode, RGB color. It is set by default. If I want, I can change. Since it is for printing purpose, I will choose CMYK color mode. In front here we have a 8-bit, 16-bit, leave it as it is for now. And the background, it will be white. Photoshop document is constructed by pixels. Pixel aspect ratio, leave it square pixels, and then click on create. Now our new document is opened, and here is the name of the document. This is the tab. If I want, I can click and drag this way. Now it's having its own document window, and this is a vertical scroll, horizontal scroll. We can even zoom our document. Here we have a zoom. If I will click on zoom tool, zoom out and zoom in. Zoom out is selected. If I will click, I can zoom out, and if I will click on this button, I will be able to zoom in. If we want, we can make it 100%. So this is the actual size of the document, and if I want, I can click on fit screen. So it will be fit with the screen. We can expand the document boundary from the canvas this way, and if I will click on fill screen horizontally, it will be filled with the screen. So I will click on fit screen. Now let's try to open an existing document. It could be a picture or PSD file. I'm going to open a picture. Click on file, open, and here I have an image, butterfly. Click and open. The image is opened in Photoshop, and here we have side by side new document and existing image. Photoshop is a raster based program, consists pixels, meaning to say any image or document you will open in Photoshop, the document will be based on small squares depending on the resolution of the document. In this zoom level we cannot see the pixel in both documents. Here we have white document. Of course, even if you will zoom 100 times, you will not see the pixel because it is just one color. But here, if we will increase the zoom level, you will see the pixel. If I will click on zoom, zoom in is selected, and I will click. I am clicking to increase the magnification level, and you can see now the detail. One small square is 1 pixel. In Photoshop, these hundreds and thousands pixels with a different color construct an image, and these small square independently can be filled with the different color. As you can see, we have a light gray shade, dark gray shade, we have black, we have white. So these all squares with multiple color will form the image. Let's see how color affect on the pixels. Here we have pencil tool. If I will click on pencil tool, pencil is having size in pixel, and here we have size. I will click on this drop down, and you can see the size 1 pixel. So what does it mean? If I will bring my mouse in my document, in my picture, my mouse pointer will select 1 pixel indicated with the plus sign inside square. So if I will click anywhere on any pixel, that will be filled with the foreground color. Now our foreground color is red or maybe pink. I will click here. Now let's say I want to make it pure red, and then I will slide up and click OK. Now whatever color is under this circle, it will be my foreground color, and click OK. And if I want, I can fill any square. You can see that is affecting the image now. This how, using different tool in Photoshop, we can change the color variation based on pixels. I will go back to the zoom. Let's reduce the magnification, minus, and you can see that in this area the wing of the butterfly is affected, and we have here additional color, that is red. This is the basic concept. This way the image will be edited in Photoshop based on pixels. Once again I will zoom in. I will go back, Ctrl Z, undo. Another thing in Photoshop, if you want to change the document size or canvas size, it is very easy. If your document is fit this way, you will be able to change the size here. Click on image and go to image size. Now here we have our size 7 by 6.9 and it is in inches. If I will change the size here, it will affect our image. I will cancel it, and if you click and drag your document inside and your canvas is having its own boundary, you can even right click on the title area here and you can access the image size. If I will click on image size, once again we have here detail. Aspect ratio, if you want to lock one side you will change, the other will be automatically changed. Now it is not linked from both sides independently, we can change, but you need to be careful. Once you will change the width and height in different aspect ratio, you will get unexpected result on the image. So if I will change 5 and I will make it for example 12 and click OK, go to the zoom tool and fit with the screen, our image is stretched vertically because aspect ratio was not locked. I will press Ctrl Z undo. Once again I will right click, go to image size, and this time I will lock this and reduce the size maybe to 4. Now the height also is changed with the width because it's linked. So if I will click OK, our size has been reduced but our aspect ratio remain same. So this is the same thing with the new document. Even if I will right click, I will be able to change the size also here. In Photoshop, whether you open a new document or an existing picture, once you will add text, other images, your document consists different layers. So once you will save with the layer, it will be saved as a PSD, and PSD document will give you the flexibility to edit it later. And of course you can export to JPEG, PNG, any format you want, and Photoshop will save another copy of your original PSD in required format. I think for this lesson it is enough. It was a brief intro about Photoshop. In our coming lessons we will go step by step more in depth through this training course series. That's all for now. I hope you enjoy this lesson and try to practice. Guys, if you like my video, please subscribe my channel and click on the bell button so you will always get notification once I will upload new video. Thank you.